Hey everyone, Sherri here. I wanted to pop onto a live video while my kids are on a bike ride. They might come in, so we'll see what happens. But the quarantine has been crazy. We are on week 2, and I've been actually enjoying it for the most part. It's a little stressful trying to work out family life, but it's been amazing so far. And the reason why it's been amazing for me is because for the last few months, and you probably, if you've been watching me, I've been kind of alluding to this idea of white space. And for the past few months, I've been really learning about white space. So what is white space, you ask? All right, white space is that space on your calendar that's not filled in. So I've seen a lot of people's calendars, you know, when you kind of go on the phone and compare, and I'm like, your calendar is insane. It's colorful, it's lined up, it's like no time to breathe. And I've seen that, and I've been like, my mind has been blown watching these people. They have no white space in their calendar. So white space will give you the freedom to just sit and think, because you need to be innovative and you need to be creative for your business to grow, for new ideas to happen. You need that time to think. Juliet Funt says we need to build white space into our calendars. That's when we work on our business. That's what our chance to be creative and innovative. So that is her quote. I think her actually company might be called White Space, and it's the whole idea of this white space in between your calendar. So she says we need to build it into the calendar, because in general, as people, as business people, we are busy, so busy. We're running from meeting to meeting and activity to activity. But the thing is, our reactive busyness is killing our creativity. There's no room to think. When's the last time you went to work and you just saw kind of someone sitting there thinking? It doesn't happen very often. And what would you even do if you saw your employee just kind of like, we don't. If we do have free time, we're filling it in with like scrolling through our phone. This time to think is imperative, especially in these Corona days. We don't know what the next 3 or 6 months are going to hold. I'm really sad to say, there's a few businesses around our area that it just won't make it. It's such a burden for me. I love Purple Bean Media. I love it like it's my 4th baby. I put so much time and effort and money into my business. I completely love it. And if it doesn't survive Corona, I will be very sad. It's not my identity or anything like that. It's not like crucial to my identity, but it's just something I love. It's like almost a hobby. So I'm looking at these business owners, and a lot of them are worried, of course, because these are crazy days. People are staying in. That means they're not ordering out. We're not shopping. We're not buying flowers. We're not doing a lot of things. We're not spending money into the economy. Our businesses are going to have an effect. But what I'm trying to do is bring a little more of a positive perspective on the coronavirus, and it's building in white space into our calendar, whether we like it or not. I had a business meeting or a meeting on Zoom yesterday, and I think there was like about 7 people there. And guess what? Our calendars have all of a sudden became very open. And not even just because we're not working, we're still working, but we don't have to drive to work anymore. We killed the commute. The commute's gone. So that gives me like an extra half an hour, 40 minutes a day. We don't have to run from meeting to meeting because all of our meetings are online, face-to-face, online basically. When you're face-to-face, you got to drive somewhere to be face-to-face. This way, we're not in the car anymore. We're just literally at home. So as soon as my meeting's done, boom, I'm done. This is giving us time. And you know what? Time is a gift. Even after you listen to this, think about the last conference you went to. Did you actually take time to just digest everything you learned? I've been to a few conferences, and I literally sat at the feet of these amazing $1 million companies, and these people are just giving their wisdom, and then the next day it's like you run to work and you just start going because, hey, you missed a day. When is the last time you really, really just sat there and just said, okay, I'm going to digest everything they just told me, and I'm going to make a concrete plan how I can move forward with this newfound wisdom and knowledge? We don't do that. We don't give ourselves time to think. And I can't say this enough. Busyness is the thief of productivity. Too much activity will keep us busy, and then we don't have time to be creative. Do you literally put time into your calendar for creativity? Trevor and I do. We sit once in a while. It depends. Like when we're really busy, funny enough, then we stop doing this. But sometimes we'll just say, you know what? Okay, we're going to take 2 hours. And I don't mean 5 minutes. I don't mean right before you fall asleep. I mean chunk it into your calendar. We do these things called the whiteboard like creativity day, or we're going to do a whiteboard meeting or a whiteboard session with someone. So we have our whiteboard for ourselves, and we do it for clients too. And if you need someone to help be creative, if you're not quite ready to be completely innovative, or if you're having a hard time pivoting, Trevor and I actually would love to sit with you over Zoom and talk about this. We actually just talked about that earlier today. So you have your whiteboard and you just kind of put ideas down, creativity, innovative ideas that you can put into your business to drive it forward, to increase sales, to help your marketing, to get your face out there, to build your brand. There's 1,000 different ways. And these whiteboard sessions are really, really important, and they've helped our business immensely. So what I'm saying for you guys, we now have the time. So when we say to people, are you taking time to be creative? Like, how are you working on your business? Oh, I don't have time to work on my business. I'm too busy working in my business. Well, that time has been taken care of. We have it now. Now the question is to you as a business owner, are you using it to watch Netflix, to complain, to worry, to play PlayStation? How are you using your time? There's another way, and you can literally take this time as a gift and start innovating. Okay, how do I pivot? I don't know what the next 3 months is going to look like. I don't know what the next 6 months is going to look like. How can we pivot and change this? You have to pivot. If you are a business and you are going through the coronavirus and everyone's in quarantine, you need to pivot. What was working 2 weeks ago is not going to work now. What was working for me 2 weeks ago is not working. Just like that. In one instance, everything changed. And I'm telling you, from what I've seen business pivot that day. I've been watching online. Some are clients, some are not clients, and I'm watching in awe. I'm like, good for you, man. That was announced Friday, and by Monday you had a plan and you were going forth. And it wasn't quite business as usual, but they were moving, they were making money, they were building their brand in the process. And that's what we have to consider as business people. So use this time to think. We have to set aside space to think. Funny enough, I was actually going to do this talk, this live video, I think probably 2 weeks ago. And then I had kind of like a back accident and I was out in the hospital for 5 days. And then I came home and I was on my back for another few days after that. And then this quarantine happened, so it wasn't going to happen at all. But I've been thinking about this for a while. And now that the coronavirus has hit, we're all self-quarantined. We literally have the time. So I kind of wish I did do it and then I would have just reposted it, but that's okay. So the other thing you can do is this virus, this self-isolation has shown me, man, it's given me time to reflect on my business. There's things I was doing in my business that now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, if I had time, I would literally, I wouldn't do that. But I've never sat and just reflected on my business practices, how I do certain things. And so this has given me time to reflect. Hey, do I have weak spots? Do I have blind spots? What can I do to change going forward? And like I said, it's shown me a lot of things. So what do you need to think about? What do you need to fix? Are there blind spots in your business that are becoming glaringly obvious, like mine during this coronavirus? Once everyone's isolated, I was like, wow. Some of you guys, it might be just like, man, I should have been promoting myself on social media for months, because now you have to get on it and you don't really necessarily have the audience. Well, there's no better time than now. So start getting on there. So all that to say is the white space is here. We have time to think, we have time to be innovative, and I'm telling you, that is the only thing that will protect your business. You must pivot. For the most part, it's not business as usual. If it is, then you don't need to do this, but I would still highly suggest building white space into your calendar just to think about your business. Invite some creative people. Sometimes it's nice to have people to bounce things off of. Like I said, I do the white space sometimes or the whiteboard sometimes by myself, and other times I do it with Trevor. And when it's me and him, the ideas go far because you're bouncing it off each other. And like I said, some ideas are bad and some are great, and we move forward, and it's been super helpful for the business. If you're into that, we are actually going to set up a Zoom call tomorrow, and just to kind of help people, like, hey, if you need help, we want to help you. We do not want to see these businesses die. We know how important the business is to you, to your family, to the local economy, and we want to help out with that. So yeah, so after this video, don't just keep scrolling. Actually think, wait, do I need to think? I'm guessing the answer is yes. So, all right, thanks for tuning in. Bye.